I'm going to show you a couple of increases. The first increase is the one that I think most new knitters learn first. It's called the raised bar increase, and you're making 2 stitches out of 1 by knitting this first stitch, but before popping that stitch off the needle, you go around and you knit the same stitch again through the back loop. So let me show you that again. Raised bar increase, you knit the stitch, leave that loop or stitch on the needle, go around and knit that same stitch through the back loop. So you're knitting 1 stitch twice. And this is called the raised bar increase because if you look at it closely, you can see that it actually produces a little purl bump on the right side of the fabric. So this is a really easy increase, but it does show up as a purl bump on the knit side. And so it's not always the best increase to use if you want to hide your increase. So let me show you a couple of different ways of hiding your increase. So there's a series of increases, there are 2 of them, called the make 1 increases. And the first make 1 I'm going to show you is where you take the tip of the left needle, you're going to pick up this little horizontal bar between the 2 needles, and you're going to pick it up from front to back, and then you're going to knit that stitch through the back loop. And it's important to knit it through the back loop because otherwise you're going to get a little eyelet or hole there. So let me show you that again. The first type of make 1, you pick up this horizontal bar with the left tip of your left needle and you pick it up from front to back and then knit through the back loop. Whoops. And knit it through the back loop. The other type of make 1 increase is this. You're going to pick up that same horizontal bar, but you're going to pick it up with the tip of your left needle coming from back to front, and then you have to knit the stitch through the front loop in order to close that gap. So let me show you that again. You take the tip of your left needle and you pick this horizontal bar up from back to front, but then you knit through the front loop of that stitch to close the gap. Another type of increase, which is really commonly used, of course, in lace patterns, is called the yarn over, or YO. In that case, we bring the yarn forward between the needles, we lay it over the top of the right-hand needle, and then knit or purl the next stitch, whatever your pattern tells you, whether you knit it or purl it. And what that does is add a stitch, and it creates a little eyelet here in the fabric, and so that's an increase often used in lace patterns. And now here's another increase, and this increase is done by inserting the tip of the right needle through the center of the stitch below the next stitch on your left needle. Okay, so I'm going to pop it right through the center, I'm going to wrap the yarn around, and I'm going to knit through that stitch. Now I'm going to knit the stitch on the needle. So let me show you that one again. You're going to go down and you're going to, with the tip of your right needle, actually poke it right through the stitch in the row below the very next stitch on the needle. You're going to knit through that stitch and then still knit the stitch that's on the needle. So you have 2 stitches where there previously was 1. One of this new stitch is coming out of the row below, so it's a little bit elongated compared to the stitches on either side of it, but it's very invisible. And that's also a really nice type of increase to do.